Xpeng now appears to be making cars at a speed that is, well, almost on par with Tesla. They've already delivered more than 50,000 of the Mona M03, which is their 16,000 US dollar Tesla Model 3 rival. It's about half the price of a Tesla Model 3. And what really caught my eye wasn't the fact that this car is coming to Australia, and I think it's going to undercut the BYD seal by a fair margin. What caught my eye was the actual production capacity and speed of these Chinese car companies. It's a bit concerning if you're trying to compete with them. And if you're a legacy automaker and you're looking at it and you're thinking, holy heck, they're making one car in a matter of seconds. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. I'm Sam Evans. You're watching The Electric Viking. Great to have you with us. Apparently, there's going to be some small modifications done to the Mona M03, which is one of the best-selling cars in China over the last 3 months. I think it's actually top 3 best-selling EV in China over the last 3 months, and for good reason. I mean, people say the BYD Seagull is great value at $12,000 or the BYD Dolphin $14,000, but for $2,000 more than that, you can get a full-sized sedan that is actually slightly bigger than a Tesla Model 3, has a lift back at the rear, really practical shape fit rear, so it's like a hatch at the back. I mean, to me, this thing is just an incredible bargain. Now, what to me was the most interesting about the fact that they've produced more than 50,000 within only a few months was just how fast they're manufacturing them. Xpeng's plant actually has one of these cars rolling off the production line every 72 seconds. So that's not quite as fast as Tesla, but it's nearly as fast. Xpeng also, I don't think I've mentioned this on the channel before, but they actually have the world's biggest gigacasting machine. It's a 12,000 ton casting machine. I believe the casting machine that's used for the Cybertruck is 9,000 tons. So it's significantly bigger than the casting machine used for the Cybertruck, 12,000 tons. And it actually does the casting for the X9, the Xpeng X9 SUV, MPV, I should say. Biggest casting machine in the world. So the car that I have, the Xpeng G6, that uses gigacasting. Same as the Model Y, one huge gigacasting piece for the rear and one huge one for the front with a structural battery that kind of joins everything together. The plant is on full throttle and just hoping to get vehicles delivered to you soon, said the company. Xpeng didn't mention any more details, but shared a video showing the production line of the Mona M03. In this video, you can see the production speed is pretty damn remarkable. And you can kind of see how Xpeng are able to manufacture these cars for a staggering and sell them for 16,000 US dollars. They're only losing a very, very small amount of money on these, as was confirmed by their latest financial reports. Xpeng say that within 6 months' time, they'll likely be making a profit. Here's the thing. If you sell a lot of one model and a lot of, I mean, obviously the Tesla has the blueprint for this. If you sell a lot of one model, then you can sell them at a lower price because they're cheaper to manufacture. Now, this is the least expensive of all of Xpeng's models. It's around half the price of a Tesla Model 3, and the lower price variants of the Mona M03 began, I believe, delivery in late August. Deliveries of the highest price variant will begin after the Chinese New Year holiday. Now, the highest price variant has more range. It's still got a little bit, it's not a super long range car. I think it has about 500 kilometers of range, that longest range variant. But keep in mind, it's only about 20,000 US dollars, which is just a remarkable price. The Xpeng Mona M03 has been one of the most successful models for Xpeng. In fact, it has rivaled the success of the P7 Plus. They actually got more than 30,000 firm orders within 48 hours of the vehicle launching. And since then, they're adding, I believe, around 10,000 orders to that total every single month. Apparently, in a post on Weibo, the CEO said that production capacity has been expanded twice in 10 days to meet delivery demand. On November the 15th, Xpeng said on the first day of the Guangzhou Auto Show that the Mona M03's monthly production capacity would reach 20,000 units before the Chinese New Year to support the model sales. You can imagine once they're selling this overseas at what I'm hearing is going to be very, very good pricing, obviously well below a Tesla Model 3 price, that they're just simply going to be increasing demand to these numbers. As I mentioned before, XPeng do plan on manufacturing this vehicle in right-hand drive. So that could be markets like potentially the UK, Thailand, Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, Malaysia, even Japan potentially. And that could be a big market for them. The reason I think that this car is going to be successful is huge production numbers of one model. XPeng do have a fair few different models, but it's not lunacy numbers like BYD where they've got, 40 something different models. They have some core models, and the big selling cars for XPeng are obviously the G6, the Mona M03, and the P7 Plus. Then they also have the X9 and the G9. Now, as far as I'm aware, all of those cars they're planning on bringing to Australia. And I think that all of them will, like the XPeng G6 that I have, will undercut their rivals based on performance and price. And that's what XPeng's been doing for years now. Guys, I'll have a video up of my car within the next 7 days. An updated review, a long-term review on the XPeng G6. So stay tuned for that. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. What do you think about this production speed? Do you think legacy automakers, do you think they can compete with this? I don't think they can, but what are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments. Possibly the most revolutionary car of 2024. In fact, I think it is the most revolutionary. I do not know how XPeng have done this, pulled this off. When I first saw this car, I was like, oh, a little bit ugly. It's all right. Then I saw what they really did. And I'm still sitting here thinking to myself, how the hell did XPeng do this? I mean, I don't think anyone knows. Realistically, how can you make it an EV for this price and say you can profit from it? I mean, even if they just break even, I don't understand it. This means the entire EV industry is just completely changed within the space of only a matter of months. And anyhow, what happened is XPeng revealed this car, right, at this price, and they sold more than 30,000 within 48 hours. I mean, this would be amazing in a country like the United States, right, to sell more than 30,000 vehicles in 48 hours. But in China, where there is about 90 EV companies, all, so many electric cars priced so incredibly competitively, sedans are not that popular. This is essentially a sedan, although it is a liftback, and they sell more than 30,000 in 48 hours. I mean, by the time you've watched this video, I'm sure they would have sold well over 40,000. I'm going to guess I'll end up having at least 50,000 pre-orders